And welcome back, Dragon Age 2, the adventures of Zoe and the sisters Hawke. We're starting off in the docks, nighttime. We got some secret rendezvous to eavesdrop on.
Is that all you've got? Nothing to worry Never fear, Eric is here. What more do you want?
So the reason I was holding the group back and leashing the enemies to us is because I didn't want to trigger this eavesdrop part of the quest and then get jumped.
I lost 2 of my men for damned wheat.
If it flies Amaranthine colors, you sink her.
Careful, lick spittle.
My men and I aren't accustomed to taking orders. The Viscount's pardon comes with strings. If Amaranthine is left unchecked, they will rule the waking sea.
Piss on that. What do I care?
A dozen war galleys hunting your kind to extinction says you'll care.
Sir, someone's nearby. This is my favorite part.
That's enough!
Never fear, Eric is here. Nothing to worry about. Got you now.
Man, yes, they guide you. Now we can relax.
Okay, so a pretty tough fight. Several pretty badass rogue types in the mix there. It was really important that I keep the back line, you know, far away from them. And the dog, the Mabari, Dusty, helped out a lot because, you know, he was kind of like a decoy. They would just go to backstab him and, you know, we'd be all right. So we just zone right back into docks, but for daytime to do more quests here. If you recall, we'd been putting off this job for Mirren, our old Red Iron contact, where he sent someone to assassinate Lord Hiramon and they never came back. So we got to see what's up with that.
Hawke. I've seen you with Mirren before. Did he send you to get me? Harriman's guards killed all my men. I thought I gave them the slip, but they found me. You tell Mirren I never turned on him.
I'm not going back until you can walk, limp or crawl, behind me.
I think I can walk. He got here before Harriman's men could do much damage. His rear guard saw us coming. They fell on us from all sides.
Which any professional would have expected.
That's him. That's Lord Harriman.
Most of my enemies would not stoop this low. Are you working for Conrad Tooley? Perhaps Lady Reinhardt?
What have you done that so many people want you dead?
You sound Ferelden. So you should know I'm the one who convinced the Viscount to send aid to Denerim. Many of my fellow noblemen resent that. They want me dead before he sends the money, so they can reclaim it for Kirkwall. Will you kill me for this?
This is not a job I can complete.
Thank you, Ferelden. When I learn who sent you, I will be sure to leave you out of any retribution.
I don't want to be the one to tell Mirren you did that.
Okay, some risky business. Zoe choosing to, follow her own moral compass here and choose not to complete the job.
That's enough! That was surprisingly fun.
Lord Harriman, what do we do with the human?
Stand down. She's not our foe.
What was that about?
Assassins. The boat to Ravane is within sight, but the Carter would see me dead before I get there. How would you like to make some coin?
I've never seen a dwarven lord.
You still haven't. If you're looking at him in daylight, he's not a lord anymore.
I'm Renville Harrowmont, the last of my house. My family was once revered in Orzammar. Now I'm nothing but a surfacer on the run.
You must have greatly angered the Carter for them to attack you with so many witnesses around.
My family was murdered one by King Balin, after my uncle failed to claim the throne. Balin's reach is long, and his vengeance a terrible thing to behold.
I'll clear the way for you, Harrimont.
Dispatch these ruffians and I'll pay you what I can now. And by the ancestors, I will reward you proper when I am safe. What is your name?
Hawke.
A good name. I will remember it.
The Carter has several groups lying in wait for us. Take the battle to them.
You from the south? Got that wide-eyed look.
Okay, don't let the names confuse you. Lord Harriman was the Ferelden supporter whom we chose not to kill for Mirren. Lord Harrimount is this dwarf in a brand new quest we just picked up.
Harriman spoke to you, didn't he? Whatever reward he offered, we'll offer you more to kill him.
How about I take care of you instead?
Schubert bastard!
Back on the way.
One more for the dwarf! Is that all you got? I'll show you why nation's a bitch!
Nothing to worry about.
Whatever you say, Miss Air. Ship shape.
And this is one of those quests that only shows up if you have a certain pre-built history in there. If you recall, Balin could have or could have not been on the throne in Orzammar. It just depended on the events of Origins.
Good for something, I guess.
Never get on our bad side. Seems to be unhealthy.
I'm looking for some cargo.
You're in luck. Cargo all around. Take your pick.
A laborer with a smart mouth. You hardly ever see those.
What do you want?
I'm looking for crates sealed by the Orlesian Port Authority.
Haven't seen any. Sorry.
Talk to the harbour master. I'll bet he's got information about your cargo. He's in his office.
Hey, if you're done wagging your tongue, can we get those sacks off the docks?
Right, come in.
And that bit right there is for Martin, the guy with the neck scar and the hanged man. Remember, the raiders stole his cargo and he needs our help getting it back.
Just don't ask where anything came from.
Okay, this is just another merchant. We haven't been to him yet because he's only here during the day in the docks. The one we've been to, remember, is down that disused passage. It's sort of like a little underground passage where we bought the staff and the mace. That one, in contrast, is only accessible at night. So I just went ahead and stopped to sell off some, unneeded stuff and empty the bags. And then we'll make our way back up the docks. At this point, we just need to talk to Harrimont. We've killed all the Carta, but we're still looking for, this Orlesian cargo for Martin. I think that quest is called Finders Keepers. So we're kind of, working on several things at once here. Master plan, Devitron, big time.
Watch out by the Canary compound.
Do you know anything about the Mage Underground?
Shipping manifest?
I think I lost it.
Well, then you can't bring your goods in. Viscount's rules, not mine.
You should take credit for those rules.
Ugh. Adam, deal with this.
I apologize on Liam's behalf. He is a very, very busy man. I'm Adam, the Harbour Master's assistant. I understand you're looking for Orlesian cargo. I have seen the crates. I can't remember where. Such a shame.
I can't imagine what you mean.
The clink of gold coin often jogs my memory.
Is this enough to help you remember?
Ah, it's coming back to me. The cargo is in Alton Woodrow's warehouse, by the dock. I'm glad we could help each other out.
Look at all the elves.
It'd take 5 Ferelden's or 10 elves to do my work.
Just waiting on a good ship and I'm back on the waves.
I wager you've a bright future ahead of you. Take this. More will come, as promised. May the stone look after you.
You're for real. Seems like there's more here than
There's someone coming. Tell... This is private property.
What are you guarding?
Imported goods.
Who owns this warehouse?
Master Woodrow, I suppose. It's rented storage space.
You're in my way.
We're under attack!
Now you fall! Another fall! Not doing anything!
So the game kind of makes it tough to embody a consistent sort of moral code or whatnot, you know. Zoe drew the line by not killing a Ferelden supporter, you know, for a job. But she's okay just slaughtering a pack of dockhands that are guarding a warehouse, you know, greasing the harbor master's assistant to get some info on the whereabouts of this cargo, etc. So, you know, what can you do? You can do your best to be morally consistent, but it's just not always possible. I guess when in Rome kind of thing. But at the same time, you know, Zoe's not a paladin or anything. She's not afraid to get her hands dirty, Dev.
Now that's just rude. What are they trying to do? Ruin my boots?
They're sneaking around behind us! That's the brightest thing you could have done!
Really nasty fight there. Mostly because you're pinned in, and it's really hard for me to just go full arc on a shield bash and knock the assassin down or something, you know what I mean? Because I'm gonna hit my party members. And then of course it's, you know, the other problem of targeting, because it's just such a clusterfuck in there, and the assassin, you know, pop back out and backstab Bethany.
Watch where you step.
And took me a second to target it, so that's really just, you know, and it's a split level, so sometimes the AI gets wacky, like I mentioned in another quest. We got through it, but that little skirmish is a lot harder than it looked.
Someone's left a surprise here for us. We're good to go.
I wouldn't breathe that in if I were you.
Looks like Martin's trading in death.
And man, Zoe went down. I think this is a first for that. Kind of my own fault. I had a heal potion available, and I mean, I didn't just lose track or anything. I honestly thought about it, but I looked at my health bar and I figured, well, if he pops on me, I can take a backstab. I have enough health, but turns out I didn't. So, you know, it does happen. Don't get upset. In fact, you're gonna see a lot of it as the tank. You know, Zoe is going to be falling quite a bit here and there. So back to Lowtown night. Might as well not waste any time. Just head right to Mirren and say, you know, listen, certain jobs that I'm not gonna do, you know. And this ended up being one of them, and let's see what he has to say about that.
So, Gustav limped back here, but refuses to speak one word of what happened. Spit it out. Is Harriman dead or not?
He's being hunted for aiding my people. I will not kill him.
I think you forgot the rules, Dog Lord. Once you take the job, you do the job. You don't decide if it's right. I'll take care of this myself. Don't try hitting me up for coin again. That door is closed.
Someone powerful in Kirkwall wants the raiders to attack Amaranthine's ships.
As I suspected. You've earned a bonus. You've done Ferelden and Amaranthine a great service.
Okay, we turned in with Mirren and the Strange Lady, and we have to turn in with Martin about his stolen cargo. It's a little strange. You have to click Hangman Day, but think of it as we, just rented a room and spent the night, and now we're turning in with them.
You're smuggling poison. I thought you were trying to change your ways.
I got the stuff from a legitimate supplier, and I'm going to sell it through legitimate channels. It's all legitimate.
It's poison. It kills people.
I just sell it. I'm not responsible for what people do with it. So, where is it?
Do you know where Alton Woodrow's warehouse is?
Merchant Woodrow's place. I know it. Thanks for this, friend. You've more than earned your reward. I'm gonna get my goods. You come back once I'm set up, I'll give you a discount.
Okay, a morally tough line to complete, but worth it. As you can see, a really hefty chunk of XP. All 4 characters leveled up together, and that's rare. Usually one or two are a little bit behind. And also, he comes back later, I think within this act even, and he has a little merchant stall back there. So if you take the moral high ground and don't do that quest, you miss out on quite a bit. Okay, the level ups. I take that first passive skill in Reaver. The lower my health, the more damage I do. Always a bonus. And look at this, disorienting shot. Things are going to really start opening up. Whenever, it's 100% disorient chance when Varric fires off pinning shot, which is a lot. Upgraded aura, so it's going to do even more bonuses for us. And guess what? The master plan, what goes with disorienting shot? Golem's Fist. It does bonus damage to disoriented targets. So this is really a big, moment in the party's progression, because we now officially have a cross-class combo. And I'm just checking some items, but we're going to go right into tactics and switch a few of them around to reflect, our newfound loveliness. Cross-class combos really are just the bee's knees, especially on Nightmare.
Just airing things out, he said.
Okay, here we go. So what I decided to do is just take Stonefist out of that sort of complementary enemy attacking one of the backline people, using ranged or magic, do Stonefist. I decided to keep that complement setup, but just use Petrify instead. And Stonefist will strictly be used for disoriented targets, because these cross-class combos, man, I mean, they do a ton of damage. So, and you really want that, because remember, the idea is, with pinning shot at least, that's, potentially one of those really tough rogues coming after your mage. Or even Zoe, you saw in the last fight, went down to a backstab. Now, that's the first time it happened, but trust me, those backstabs are brutal. So like I said, when I explained the respecs back in episode 2, you don't just want that thing coming after your softies to be rooted. You want it to be set up to take a massive hit and hopefully just outright kill it. You know what I mean? So this is good stuff. Now I stopped here just to sell, but really there's something I want to buy from Hubert. He has a tome which gives a bonus talent to your Hawke, and only your Hawke. And I realize I don't have enough gold yet, but whatever, I'm here, I'll just sell off my junk. You're gonna see it in just a minute. There it is, Tome of Technique. Little shy on gold, but I'll get to it soon enough. And there's still something else to do here. Remember, we have to give Ghislaine Ninette's ring that we found on her severed hand.
This ring is all I have to return to you. I'm sorry.
Oh, Ninette's wedding ring. Yes. Look at the engraving. Forever faithful, forever yours. Oh. Written in happier times. Where did you find it?
Just know that she will not return.
It's better this way. Our marriage has been in shambles for more than a decade. I'll send the ring to her family. With luck, it will appease them. Thank you for all your help, Sarah. Maker, watch over you.
Who knows?
Okay, at least Ghislaine knows, and that's better than not knowing. And remember, we still need to report our findings to Emmerich and the gallows. We haven't been to the gallows in this act yet. But first, we just fast travel to Fenris's mansion, which is really, you know, his former master's mansion, but now he lives here. We don't really need to do anything else for him, but he just wants to talk. Sometimes companions, you know, like to do that. So that's why we're here.
Egregio Pavali. There are 6 bottles in the cellar. Denarius used to have me pour it for his guests. My appearance intimidated them, he said, which he enjoyed.
You were his servant as well as his bodyguard.
I was his slave. I propped up the furniture when he was so inclined. It's good I can still take pleasure in the small things.
You've had a difficult life.
I'd rather not speak more of it.
Are you certain? I'm willing to listen.
To my whining? Very charitable of you. I've wanted to leave my past behind me, but it won't stay there. Tell me, have you never wanted to return to Ferelden?
I grew up in Ferelden. It will always be my home.
The Blight is over. You could rebuild what you lost. Do you truly not want to?
I have to admit, it's an attractive idea.
But not now. I understand. Still, to have the option must be gratifying.
Do you intend to keep living here?
I haven't decided. For now, it's as good as any other place. I would return to Saharan if I could, but there is no life for me there.
Is that where you're from?
So I've been told.
Were you very young when you left then?
Perhaps.
You could track your former master down, I assume.
I imagine he has returned to Minrathous, though I dare not go near the city while he is alive. No, it is better to wait for him to leave his fortress, fight from a fortified position. I do not expect your help when that day comes, but I would not turn it aside.
You've been on the run a long time then.
3 years now. Denarius has a way of finding me. Perhaps it is the markings. Whatever the means, it never takes him long to follow. This is the first time I've given him reason to pause. I suppose there are advantages in numbers.
Haven't you sought help before?
Hirelings, when I could steal the coin. Never anyone of substance. Until you. Denarius will not give up, however. I await his return.
If you're looking to start a life, you could stay.
I could see myself staying, for the right reasons. I should thank you again for helping me against the hunters. Had I known Ansel would find me a woman so capable, I might have asked him to look sooner.
It turned out well enough.
It did at that. I will not keep you longer. Another time, perhaps.
Okay, so more backstory with Fenris. His is, you know, one of the more compelling backstories. At long last, we're off to the gallows. Several things to do here, so let's get to them.
Do you know a recruit named Karen? His sister is looking for him.
We cannot speak to you, Messer.
Oh, good. We'll just be leaving then. To go somewhere that isn't the gallows.
To the void with that. Karen and the others are missing.
But our orders...
The Knights aren't doing anything to find them. Maybe it's time to ask for outside help.
I wasn't even certain Karen was missing. Who else is gone?
The first ones disappeared weeks ago. There's been at least half a dozen. Wilmot and Karen were the most recent.
Why must you keep silent about Karen?
You obviously aren't a Templar, Monsieur.
No. No Templars in this family.
A Knight Lieutenant gives you an order, and you obey, without question. They told us not to breathe a word about Karen and the others.
They must have their reasons.
And that'll be a great comfort if you go missing next.
You can trust me. I'm only trying to keep Karen safe.
I hear that Knight Commander Meredith has some new initiation you have to go through. If you're not strong enough or fervent enough in belief, you don't make it out alive.
Her own people? That's horrible.
And you honestly believe that?
Recruits keep going missing.
Wilmot came back.
What?
He did. I saw him this morning.
What else do you know about the initiation?
You hear about some questionable things that the Order must do these days. The Knight Commander only wants Templars that can do what must be done.
Andraste alive. She's killing recruits that might question her orders, isn't she?
That's rubbish. She wouldn't do that.
If Wilmot came back, he might know more about the other missing recruits.
I bet he would.
Wilmot told me he was going outside Kirkwall. Clear his head, he said.
Why didn't you tell us this?
Knight Captain Cullen ordered it, right before he chased after Wilmot. That wasn't too long ago. If you hurry, you may catch them on the road.
Okay, so that's enemies among us. You remember Karen's sister was pleading for help outside the Chantry and
We have
Hightown.
a wide array of potions and magical items.
So we're going to get to that shortly, but not just yet. But I just wanted you to recall, which quest it was. Here is a very important design for a rune of lightning warding, basically resist. Comes into play in this act and others. It's one of the most important ones to get. If you don't get it now, it's gone.
You might want to see this. This was left in the foundry you mentioned in your notes. I was also attacked by shades.
These are human bones. Then there is no chance of finding Meren alive, or any of the others.
I saw someone leaving the scene, but they got away. I'm sorry.
It was more than I accomplished. I will bring this to the city guard immediately. It should be enough to convince them the disappearances are worth investigating.
Okay, and that's following up with Emmerich on Ninette's disappearance.
I don't understand all these complaints.
And you kind of remember this little zone, the Gallows. It's where we first arrived in Kirkwall in the prologue. It's not available until you step enemies among us and or the one we just did with Emmerich. And there's not much here in Act 1, but these vendors have some cool stuff. I only end up buying the one thing, but in other acts, these vendors are pretty important as well. Okay, we're almost ready to leave the city and do some quests in the sort of wilderness areas, but I want to clean up a few other things first, and namely the 2 remaining nighttime gang quests. So that's why we're here. Okay, and there we got it to pop. Again, you just have to, you know, go around Hightown, Docks, and Lowtown at night and kill groups of the gangs. And once you've killed enough, then the note drops as to where they are, and you go kill the boss. Okay, really nicely done there. I don't know if you saw early on, Varric got a disorient off, and Anders was able to detonate it with Stone Fist. Disorient is sort of the concentric circles. Looks a little bit like a globe or something above their head, just sort of circular things. Look for that, and then look for a big projectile. And then you also get the cross-class combo big bass sound.
I'm practically there. Little help here. There.
Maker, let's not do that again.
Oh yeah, that was big time. That's called pushing your group to the limit. This quest Night Lies, you know, because this gang is called the Guardsmen Pretenders. You know, they walk around Hightown at night pretending to be guards, but they're just a gang. It's kind of one of these, you know, cult underground, considered one of the hardest quests in Act 1. It's just waves and waves and waves of these things, man. That was a lot of fun, and even though Zoe dropped, I love that we just, you know, got it done. So, I've done it without wiping before, but, not wiping, but without losing anybody, but, that in a way was just more fun. That was a blast. Okay, and here's the last one, the docks. Peer pressure. The fact that there were only 2 guys there makes me feel like when we were here earlier in the episode and we were kind of inching up and leashing those guys so we didn't trigger that eavesdrop quest, I think they were just left from that pool. But whatever, they gave us the note, so here we go. Sorry for the pregnant pause here at the beginning. I'm just waiting for the Mabari hound, Dusty, to come off a cooldown. We're going to need him for this fight big time. Okay, Leech, that blood mage at the beginning. I don't know if you saw it. If you go back and watch the start of the fight again, not that I think you should, it's just letting you know what's up. The whole party just starts, you know, dying really fast, and the blood mages, enemy blood mages in this game are insane. They just, it's like, oh yeah, everybody's dead just instantly. I was able to get shield bash on him, which interrupted that spell, which just, you know, that's it. If you don't do that, you wipe. So a pretty tough fight, although hopefully I made it look easy. You have to get Leech down immediately, and if you don't kill him, you just have to interrupt him, or that spell will wipe you. And then after that, as you saw, it sort of was a little bit of shuck and jive with positioning. You have to constantly reposition. So that looked a little bit, you know, more smooth than the Night Lies. Because it was, but I guess the point I want to make is don't let it fool you. That's a really tough fight too. Okay, off to Hangman to turn these in with, you know, the lady, a friend.
I removed another bunch of lowlifes.
Good on you, Sirrah Hawke. We friends are indeed friends of yours. Another time, friend Hawke. Many of them, hopefully.
Okay, with one click, I just turned in both there. I wasn't sure if that would happen. I usually do one at a time, but yeah, really fun stuff. Before we wrap up the episode, we pretty much are ready to leave the city now. And again, you don't have to do it in this order. This is just the order I chose. First, we're going to stop at Hightown and get the tome that I didn't have enough gold for earlier, which will give Hawke, Zoe an extra talent. And then I'm going to make a brief stop in Gamlen's house to reform, and I think I'm just going to edit through all that. And then we're going to go off to do Aveline's quest. I figure that takes us out of the city, but then immediately back, and it doesn't take too long, so I think that would be a nice end to the episode. So that's how we'll play this one. Real quick, the extra talent I take here is in the Reaver line. It's called Devour, and it's basically a heal. It does damage, well, a life tap. It does damage, and then that damage heals Hawke. So it would have been useful in those two fights so far where I've died, but didn't have it yet. No big deal. Okay, again, this is actually having gone to Gamlen's house and then exiting with the party selection screen. I just edited out the travel to speed things up. I wanted to visually show you that we're putting Aveline in the party. And recall that this has been way back burner. You know, this was one of the first quests we got when we went to talk to her. She said, hey, you know, something's fishy about these patrols. So I just put it off, you know, because Aveline in the party means the party isn't as good. You know, just kind of like with Fenris. So the longer you put off those companion quests where your party isn't as efficient, the better, because they're going to be higher level, you know. They're going to be the same level as you once you get them back in the party, so makes it a little bit easier. Now I have a nice hatchet for her, but no shield, you know, not really any jewelry. What can you do? She's fine. She's just going to auto attack. So yeah, here we are. We're out here. She suspects an ambush, so that's what we're checking for. It's not her patrol, it's someone else's patrol, but she's just nosing in because she suspects an ambush. And just real quick, adding in a quick talent so that she can be, you know, buffed with cleave like all the cool warriors.
There might be some stragglers before the main group. Nothing we can't handle.
Okay, not too bad. I did know, from doing this a lot that there are enemy rogues that are going to be backstabbing out here. So it's another reason I kind of put it off for a minute. Hopefully, the party would be stronger by now and could take a backstab or two. Not bad at all. This isn't really a hard quest, I would say, but if you're just level 2 or 3 or whatever it is when you first, start Act 1 and Aveline says, hey, let's go do this, this can be really tough.
The last of them.
That was beautiful.
Go down! Now you fall!
And you may have noticed some of Varric's disorients getting set up, and without Anders, nothing to detonate them. Now later on, Zoe will have some nice
Watch where you step.
disorient detonators, and so will Bethany, but
Now that's just rude. What are they trying to do? Ruin my boots? We're good to go.
it just kind of kills me because we finally got to this point in our party, with Varric and Anders, yay, cross-class combos, and they were starting to go off and everything. Now we're out here, we see one set up, and it's like, but no harm, no foul. And we're also seeing more critical strikes. That's the loud pounding sound when you hit.
We're close to the ambush, Hawke. Be ready.
And also visually, the enemy health bar flashes white. And I think the reason we're getting a few more of those than normal is the upgraded heroic aura from Bethany.
Everyone stay still and try not to make any loud noises.
Piece of cake.
There's our targets for the Kirkwall Guard! Incinerator!
What a waste!
Now you fall!
Well equipped for bandits, but dead is dead and the road is clear. Captain Jevon needs to know of this. Back to the barracks for your just reward.
Okay, so again, not too bad. We're going to scavenge a little bit and then head back to the city.
Someone's left a surprise here for us.
And,
I love doing that.
You know, like she said, for our just reward, we're going to see how the captain handles this kind of, you know, self-starter initiative from his guards. And, you know, hopefully get lots of treasure or a new item or something. Maybe a promotion, you know, for Aveline. Something like this. So yeah, let's get back there and turn it in and see how this plays out, Devatron.
There's Jevon's office. Wait while I explain our initiative.
I don't know how they do it where you're from, guardswoman, but I decide the patrols, not you and your whims. You may have been put up for lieutenant in your first year, but I'll have no show-offs in my command. Have I made myself clear? Report to your post before I have you and your Ferelden accomplice jailed.
A lot of yelling for doing him a favor.
We killed a band of highwaymen. What does it matter whose patrol it was? It's not the first time he's made me wonder like this. Something is very wrong.
So let's find out whose toes you actually stepped on.
Then we should check the duty roster and see who was supposed to take that route. What have I stepped in this time? Threaten my friends. Not letting that one go, Captain.
Aveline! I owe you for clearing that ambush the other night. Saved me a mess of trouble.
Brennan, that route was yours?
It was. Single patrol. I'd have been dead for sure.
So there was nothing unusual about it at all?
It had been clear for weeks. It didn't get unusual until after we heard about you and Aveline. The captain reassigned me after he heard what you did, and I passed the satchel to Donnick for his patrol tonight.
The satchel?
Pay and order assignments. Captain has us run deliveries to the outposts during light duty. It's usually just an updated copy of the roster. The satchel for that night was heavy, though. Anyway, thanks again, Aveline. You're a good one.
So the satchel gets heavy the same day we discover an ambush?
You're sure you want to pursue this? This is your superior we're talking about.
If a guard has been put at risk, a good captain would want to know why. And if he's not a good captain, I want to know why.
A messy way to pass information. Brennan already sent it along.
Another guard is walking into the same trap. I can't let that happen. Brennan said Donnick. A good man. Donnick. I've got his route. A night walk in Lowtown. Let's go make sure his quiet patrol stays that way.
Messiah, please stop kicking the wall.
Oh yeah, this episode isn't over yet, Devatron. Things are really heating up in the Aveline companion line. Let's get out there.
We can't waste time, Hawke. Guardsman Donnick is here somewhere. We must be getting close to the ambush.
Let's finish this!
That was a beauty of a
That's enough!
You're a beautiful sight.
Guardsmen?
I mean, I was on patrol and they came out of nowhere. I took a few down, but there were too many at once. The captain said this route was supposed to be quiet.
The seal of the Viscount. Office details. City accounts. Valuable to a guild of thieves.
A sacrificial delivery with one of our own. Captain Jevon will answer.
Exposing this kind of corruption could make the guards look weak.
Then we look weak. The others deserve better. This goes to the office of the Viscount. This will be known. The captain likes his thieves so much. Let's see if they welcome him in prison.
Wow, big time corruption going on. You know, it's Kirkwall. It's a big city, dangerous place. It's kind of like, you know, the Detroit of the free marches, I guess. So yeah, this is really heating up. We got to get to the bottom of this, and then we'll sign this beast of an episode off.
How dare you! I am guard captain! I won't be treated like this! Ferelden, bitch! This was none of your affair! I'll see you hanged! Quartered! This will not stand!
We found a number of debts to suspect peoples. Such poor character. But you, Aveline Valen, have proven your loyalty and ability.
The guard deserves better than him, Messire.
Indeed. The Viscount would have you put your care for the men into direct practice. You will assume the captain's job.
What?
In due time, of course. There will be training, approvals, months at least. But who better to rebuild respect than the woman who exposed this embarrassment? Resolve any outstanding business, guardswoman. You will be very busy.
Varric, no.
Well, you're the captain. Or you will be. It'll be easy.
I'm not petitioning the Viscount to help you steal ownership of the Hanged Man.
Steal? Madam, you wound me.
I'm about to. Big changes are coming, huh? Captain of the Guard. Thank you, Wesley.
That you keep his memory speaks well of him.
He's not with me. I know that. Wesley's at the Maker's side, or he's not. Either way, he knows no pain.
He seemed a good man. For a Templar. I'm sure he's found peace.
What I keep is that moment. I won't let anyone down like that again.
Wesley's at the Maker's side, or he's not. What do you mean by that?
Wesley believed, and if he was correct, then that's where he is. But this business of the less the Maker does, the more he's proven, I don't find it compelling.
But you married a Templar.
I married a man. A good one. And he's gone. I have heard the chant. It is lovely. Perhaps that's all it needs to be.
You clearly miss Wesley. But that's not the issue.
Of course I miss him, but he's not coming back. Pining like a child serves no one. So I remember him, but I let him rest.
You're not so kind to yourself, though.
No.
I don't see how you can take the blame for the Darkspawn Horde.
I put him to the sword myself, Hawke.
At his behest.
I know in my head that it was right. So did Wesley. But in my heart, that cut was cruel.
I can't imagine the captain of the guard will like wandering in my shadow.
It's not like this job means we're on opposite sides. The good you do, it seems rather appropriate. Besides, I'll be making the patrol schedule, and I don't intend to lead from a desk.
I look forward to working with you. Guard Captain Aveline.
Still strange, isn't it? Captain of the Guard. Thank you for helping me get here, Hawke. It's where I should be.
Fine day, Sarah.
Okay, a fine day indeed. Pretty big haps for Aveline, and a nice end to this episode, I think.
I'm with you.
A lot of cleaning up and moving ahead. So, hope you enjoyed this one. Just a touch over an hour. Zoe signing off. Dragon Age 2. We'll see you next time.